I don't think it's right for people that are bound in chains of sin and distress and trouble to have a better time than the people of God.
All right now.
I think that God deserves everything that we have. And if we would go to a baseball stadium or a basketball stadium or a soccer field, we would see people shouting all over the place about a ball that made it through a hoop or to a goal that would only have an earthly, temporary benefit. A win this time, but a lose next week, you know?
Okay.
But if you have truly been delivered from sin, there is such a change in your life that you cannot keep it to yourself. And I want to preach on how to actually be delivered from the system. We hear a lot about the system. Probably everybody here has been at a protest against the system. I've been to lots of them. We all know friends and relatives that are sick of the system. Even if you listen to liberal news, they're talking about the system and oppression and all of these things, even though it's all twisted. Everybody says they want to be delivered from the system. They want something different. But the question is this morning, how do we actually put a plan into place to deliver ourselves from the system? Can we carry signs enough? Can we go to enough protests? Can we vote in better politicians? How can we be freed from the system? And if you know me well enough, I always like to start at the beginning. So I'm going to ask you to come with me to Genesis. I'm going to talk to you a little bit, and then we're going to get into the message. We know that God created a perfect world. There was no evil system. He made the mountains, He made the oceans, He made the beautiful sunlight, the days like this, so beautiful and so perfect. And at the end of the creation of the world, He created man. Now, I'm not sure if we can even comprehend, well, I am sure we cannot comprehend what this world was like, because there was no pain. Even as you sit here today, I am confident that there are people here that are in pain. You don't know what it's like to not be in pain. But there was no pain on that day. Physically, mentally, emotionally. There was no death. Nobody had to bury their loved ones and say goodbye. I was in the cemetery this morning visiting the graves of some of my dear friends and relatives. But at the beginning of the creation, there was no death. There would never have been a cemetery. God was in perfect control. There wasn't a need of going to make money. Adam didn't have to work hard. He just was able to enjoy life. Every day was a holiday in our understanding. No need to try to get money to pay the bills, to buy the groceries, to feed the children. It was a perfect world. It was actually a paradise on earth. And in that paradise, God had put one tree that He told Adam and Eve not to partake of. One tree out of I don't know how many, but had to be hundreds, maybe thousands of other trees. And there was just one tree they were not supposed to partake of. And one day Eve got a little bit close to that tree. And as she was there, something began to talk to her. Something began to tell her, are God's rules necessary? You have to remember, this woman was living in paradise. What else could she want or need? She wasn't struggling to make money, and so she had to prostitute her body. There was nothing she needed. She was in paradise. But she began to listen to the devil. And the devil told her that if she would eat of this fruit, she could be a god unto herself. She wouldn't need this God. She would be God, and she would know right from wrong. In her own mind, she'd be able to make her own ideas. She would be able to have her own conscience, her own rules. And as we know the story, Eve gave in to the temptation. And in the giving in to the temptation, she not only hurt herself, she not only hurt Adam, but she introduced into this world the contradicting system that was against God. This is the very same system, brother and sister, that me and you are fighting this morning. It has evolved, it has changed colors, it has changed philosophies, it has changed words. But in the end, when we look at it, it's the exact same thing that Eve introduced into the world, a system in contradiction against God.